Opinions. Release the Mueller team summaries. Now, editors note the opinions in this article are the authors, as published by our content partner, and do not necessarily represent the views of MSN or Microsoft. Something strange is happening at the Justice Department. The confusing goings-on began March 24, when Attorney General William P. Barr to Congress providing an outline of the principal conclusions of Special Counsel Robert S. Mueller II's inquiry into Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. The Attorney General's letter has drawn widespread criticism for failing to fully illuminate Mueller's work. In particular, just as puzzling and no less important, it was unclear why, and on what legal basis, Barr took it upon himself to step into the breach and announce a bottom-line conclusion for the department that Trump's conduct could not be charged as obstruction, even if the Constitution permitted the president to be indicted. These questions, and the controversies they have created, have now begun to bubble up from within the department, where over the past few days, of unnamed Mueller and Barr loyalists have apparently begun to air their positions in the media. Thus, an investigation that played out for 22 months in perfectly disciplined hermetic silence has now devolved into the kind of leak and counter-leak, inter- and intra-branch dispute that is so familiar in Washington. We are now given to understand, that Barr and his advisors were chagrined that Mueller failed to reach an ultimate conclusion about the president's conduct. Barr's camp, for its part, members of the Mueller contingent, is suggesting sotto voce that it was the Attorney General who arrogated to himself the decision to exonerate Trump. More damning, all of this is a miserable mess that serves further to obscure Congress and the public's understanding of questions of enormous consequence. Moreover, it previously was reported that Barr and his team knew that Mueller did not intend to reach a bottom-line conclusion. If Barr's judgment, there is one immediate measure that could shed light on these questions, and go a long way toward clearing up the confusion that has prevailed ever since Barr's initial letter. In the so far quiet war of words between the Barr and Mueller camps, we have learned that the special counsel's report was prepared with summaries of each section that were designed purposely for quick delivery to Congress. The summaries should be released to the Congress and the public. While some at the Republic. Gerald Nadler read more.
Raindrop, truck top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park.